EDG threw an 11-2 lead to NRG on their own map pick. This Chinese powerhouse looked unstoppable to begin their 2025 champs debut, but then stupidity struck, spiraling EDG into a 14-round choking panic. Now, wait a second. These guys are last year's world champions. How could they throw such a commanding lead to NA's 2 seed? Did they give up? Get too comfy? Or NRG just gods? Well, it was everything. This match was one of the most iconic comebacks in Valorant history. Trust me, you do not want to miss this. Nothing ruins a Christmas break more than having horrible internet. You start lagging, you get tilted, and you start making stupid mistakes. So if you want to stop losing games that are out of your control, you need exitlag. I've been a customer for almost 2 years now, and as you're listening to me yap, exitlag running a Black Friday sale where their annual plan is 50% off, plus you get an additional 3 months for free. Meaning that you'll never lag out for a year? You'll save so much RR! Exitlag is the #1 network optimizer and offers a wide range of online service solutions, from AI route optimization to a dynamic stabilizer and a diagnostic center, all while supporting over 2,000 games. Their scalable infrastructure also supports 1,000 servers across 5 continents and 18 million weekly optimizations. You won't lag again. And setting up is easy. Head to their website, create an account, download exitlag, and install. You just pick your favorite game, select your ideal routing, and apply. Look at the results yourself. Exitlag also features multiplayer plans. A duo is one for you and a friend, or even a squad plan for up to 5 people. All of which are included in that 50% annual plan special. So if you want the highest quality internet connection possible, you need exitlag. Support me and fix your network issues by clicking my link down in the description. After losing Pistol, things aren't looking great for NRG. They forced up whatever they can, mainly being stingers. You see this SMG bot all the time in professional Valorant, because even after its handful of nerfs, it absolutely melts your enemies if you can get close enough. Against EDG's 2-1-2 and better Bulldog buy, the offense want to split A through vents as fast as they can in their 1-2-2. But with Kong's Gatecrash active, he's contesting mid. NRG's last hope begins with Ethan and Sam smoking both sides of mid, but Kong tucks in the bookshelf. In the meantime, Brock has started droning A main with Mada's decoy close behind, forcing out a slow up from Chichoo. Okay, back to mid.
Round now, yeah, forcing for the rest of the map.
Yoru, Chamber, and now Vito, I guess, are the only agents who can make a play like this and get out so easily. It's why we see him so often on this map. He can contest this long-ass lane that we call mid. And now that Ethan's down and Chichoo has single-orbitally stopped this A main push, NRG feel like they need to default back to a plan B. Go B! So once Mada grabs the orb and gets cut off by this one-way, he starts backpedaling to regroup towards his team, who's gathering with their Vice. As Scoob is waiting, he's aiming up ramp, looking for an equalizer. And he spots Gianni running across heaven. But he's also spotted Brock. He started A. So before EDG can rotate, NRG want to go. Sam flips up his high tide, but Smuggy smokes for Gianni to get out. Wait a minute, they only have stingers. We can fight them.
Rounds on that map. So when we do get there, NRG trying to make a foray towards this B site, using that harbor util to do so.
Yeah, pinged out on Jenny even before he got back behind her.
This B-hold, horrible. But that's okay. Just get off site and play retake against the equally horrible weapons. Why spam through this harbor wall? Sure, the chip damage is nice, but why even risk being spammed back when you're already up a player? And I think Kong tried flashing himself through the high tide, but the slow made him blind himself and he got spammed. Again, why try and make a play when you already have such a huge advantage? Now, despite the count being even, NRG still have worse weapons and have to make a play. But I think Kong saw Brock walk into spawn.
Just a footnote. Is Brock looking to step up now? Had a window before the relay ball connected.
Why not just hold your gun out? The Stinger is only good for one anyway. Just go trade it out. Not wanting to lose any more members to aggressive shenanigans, nobody hops into his Aldrone and clears backside, giving his teammates the okay to come on out.
Weapons for these distance engagements on this site.
The flash was good, but not enough.
After melting the rest of Kong, Sam deploys his Cove, adding another layer to NRG's post plans. How do EDG deal with this?
The Stinger bring a bit of America's flavor into the round. Chichoo has a challenge here through this Cove, and he's ready. But Mada from long range, sitting back with this Sheriff.
Because no one broke his Cove, Sam felt safe to smoke, but it got him killed. Maybe EDG didn't shoot it on purpose? To give him a false sense of security. But Mada's reposition from window got the trade. Now, it's up to Chichoo to recover this once easy round for EDG.
Back boost.
To be on?
On. Chill. 3, 2, 1, boost. 3,
3, 2, 1, go.
Backside. Good job, guys.
Good
Good job. Nice round, Sim. Good productivity, boys.
Being backside.
That botched any eco forced EDG to save. NRG just went B and ran over the pistols and couple marshals. But because EDG threw round 2, NRG had the chance to nurture their ult economy. So now they have 2, almost 3 ult online for this full buy, while EDG have none. How are they gonna beat these 3 abilities? Well, it looks like they're getting aggressive in A main in their 1-1-3, while Sova and Sage play for info and stall. And now it seems like NRG are defaulting mid, but they're not, because the round starts with a smoke, Cascade, and Ceiling Recon. But Mada and his decoy are the only ones running it down Library. Nobody responds by pinning his own dart up high, which scares Mada so bad that he jumps off the cliff and dies. Psych, he teleported back to his team who's running into B behind Harbor's Reckoning.
Being backside.
Anything? He wants left side, one left side.
Backside.
Wait, close. Hey, big. I'm blinding.
Holding next close. I'll keep it on the wall.
Backside still.
Wait, I'm pushing backside. 2 seconds.
He's dead. Alright, backside dead. One up.
Because of all this noise made in mid, EDG originally thought the offense were there, meaning Sage was left stranded, on a site that's already hard to hold. She got pelted by a Razorvine and Paranoia, while trying to endure a Harbor Sova ult combo. Brock knew exactly where to aim his laser. Even with the protection of this hard-to-break diagonal barrier, Chichoo got demolished. But look, Sam must have accidentally stopped his Cascade too early, because it allows the defense to leak out.
I'm flashing.
They want push.
Raptors.
After that. Holding book.
One book.
In the smoke.
Just gun out.
After 1 HP. 1 HP Omen. 1 HP Omen.
I'm planning.
Yeah, bingo.
Backside.
1 HP.
1 HP.
Raptors.
Just peek, bro. He's 1 HP. He's 1 HP. Just peek.
Yes! Man.
Smoking. Phantom and smoke.
NRG were lucky that nobody could only get one and that Mada got these 2. By smoking like this, or this if you never play Harbor, you allow the defense to leak out and make a play. Similar to Smoggy's retake smoke. Because EDG got ult dumped last round, they had to save again. But their plan wasn't too shabby.
And they do still have this dimensional drift on retainer. They're getting close to that steel garden as well.
Big risk. Push off the site. Characteristic.
Knowing EDG run an eco, NRG did good to stand back and hold their ground against this Paranoia slide combo from the defense. From there, NRG went A and farmed the remaining pistols.
Kangkang's gonna see what he can get. Not a whole lot. Scuba.
And now for the first time in a while, EDG have the ult advantage, and this round is big. If they lose, they have to save again, and NRG will have all of the momentum in the world. So first, a timeout. Okay guys, enough playing around. Let's win this game. You know, our own map pick. I don't know if we have the energy, coach. After that eco, and through that timeout, NRG have managed to cultivate another 2 ults and have another solid game plan. Slam Sage. Similar to previous, the offense are pressuring elsewhere before just hitting B with their ults in their 3-2-0. Ready for another beating, Sage? Round 18 begins with Mada sending a gate crash up mid. Eventually, that will go far. Ethan smoking deep, running up, teleporting across to create an audio cue that someone's here, and at the same time, the offense walk up both A main and B main, the later guarded by a Cascade. Now the defense recon A main, and don't see anything, but Mada wants to catch these guys before they rotate and anchor them here. So he enters his dimensional drift, but it's too late! The defenders are headed to go stack B in mid. So Mada teleports and sends out his second gate crash while his team is starting to hit B behind their drone in high tide. But to make sure the defense stay off B, Ethan flashes and Mada teleports, then exits. The defense are so confused. Do they fight Sight? Or Mada? But their Sage needs help.
Leave the beast positionally. Chichoo loses that one out.
Yeah, again, he's just isolated on this.
Chichoo put up his wall on the right side this time to stall the offense, but she still had to break this recon, dodge his big-ass water wall, and then Ethan just TP'd past her barrier anyways. Sage, B is not easy to hold. Just play retake. Your wall's good for that too. You don't have to keep doing this to yourself. Now with Mada in mid, the defense are still constantly looking over the shoulder to check for him as they move up towards spawn. It seems like EDG don't want to go on a wild goose chase for this guy as they're being re-smoked off, but if the defense aren't going to come to Mada, Scuba will force them.
Just a timing push out of mid. Here's the steel garden just as EDG mostly set up into the trap of the waiting arms of Mada. Only one has to try and get up, and Jenny catches him. That opens things up a little bit more for EDG on this retake.
But they are just going to...
And they're saving! This indecisiveness to re-clear mid cost EDG too much time. And Scuba made the genius play to force the defense to fight his duelist, but without any weapons. EDG are crumbling! Because EDG were able to save their guns, they actually got around. NRG's plan was to farm up 2 ult orbs and go away with Sam's Reckoning. They got the first by cascading up ramp to protect Vice's flash behind it, but immediately left to go away. Nobody droned out from Secret to find some info, and spotted the offense running back to A. This information was confirmed by Brock's drone, which Kong dodged, and the offense is one way. Then nobody decided to recon past it? Knowing the offense are here, Sage doesn't see anyone on B, but I don't think Energy expected this op.
Here we go, this is about to get messy. Around the corner, catches Ethan. And that's your controller off the map so early. Reckoning popped and now straight to the side they go. Brock is down, it's a second for Kong.
Big time players make big time plays, Neil Funk. Up 2 players, Kong then popped his Dimensional Drift to help nobody aim his Hunter's Fury, and he popped back in right behind the defense.
Still gonna look for this plant behind the cove. Mada looking to fight backside, but he's gonna be pincered here, and Kong is an issue. It has to be respected at some point, but no one is looking at the Yoru.
Scuba's on the reflank through heaven right now. Do EDG expect this, or can he get the backstab off? Chichoo is ready.
Extra sensory perception for Chichoo, and with the Sheriff, he's taken the Vice out of the game. It's Mada side to slow forward. One is good, but the second, hard to come by.
EDG have hit match point, and NRG have their backs against the wall. They must win 5 straight in order to force overtime. No more extra lives.
Game over.
Their plan? Go B. And I can't blame them. Every time they've hit this site, Sage has been a turnstile allowing everybody in. But EDG have changed their setup. With Neon and Omen in such passive positions, their B hold still sucks. Isn't this the same setup they had on the anti-eco? When they started blowing this lead, round 20 opens up with a cascade from Sam to protect Vice's flash, but it's our cover on top mid from the defense. Compared to the last few rounds where Energy have just taken the orb and played slow, they're going fast. Harbor walls, Yoru decoys, and Omen Paranoia's backside. A pylon, a recon, and thorns for jump up, and EDG have to escape. For the first time this game, it looks like EDG are playing retake without losing someone in the process. And now back in mid, Kong has used this silence to continue his walk, but Sam dies while trying to plant? While planting here is awesome, it can be really risky if your team doesn't have control of jump up. Maybe it is hindsight to say this, but why not use your cove since you don't have anyone protecting you? It is a risky plant. And now Kong has given up on his flank and has rejoined his team while Scuba has scooped the spike and is planting backside. The defense continue to spam. Okay, that flash would have been helpful last plant, but it goes down. At a disadvantage, someone in NRG has to make up for it. And Mada has answered the call by jumping up and onto Raptor, poking into his team's heaven smoke. And now EDG are gearing up for the retake, and Kong is restarting his flank? Make up your mind! And Brock is looking for it. Which Yoru makes the bigger splash?
Neon, 1 HP up hook. 1 HP hook.
I'm playing Gary.
Three
I'm
screens.
deep it out. I'm playing
Nice,
bro.
bro.
Trying to hold side
33.
cross. Could be one.
Let's plan it God, boys. Res heaven.
Flank. I'm peeking flank.
Res backside.
Like that. I'm droning.
All over site. 1
Two
HP
backside.
Neon.
80 Neon. It's planted on Raptors. They're pillar, guys.
Let's go. Same spot lane.
Peek. 3, 2, 1.
Nice,
Guys, let's go.
After Kong got Yoru diffed, EDG got knocked into another weak buy. But I think this round is a good demonstration of Ethan's IGLing. It's kinda simple. They'll prioritize farming orbs when they don't have ults, but when they do have these round-winning abilities, they have set strats in store for them. So he doesn't have to think, just do the strat. With Ethan's from the shadows, his plan was for his team to split A with him as he ulted in events. From here, he can clear a path for Sam to cascade and run in there with him. The other 3 ramped through A main while Harbor smoked all the chokes, but nobody leaked out and found a sick timing after blasting 1 through this smoke.
Luckily, nobody's trying to get on the site. He's made his way through the cascade. Oh, and the drop on Mada is good. He could interrupt the plant here. Kong dealt with though, and Jenny's trying to get this controller tower, but Ethan is locked it down for himself. Got fingers on Smoggy again. Sheriff.
NRG ended up winning. That brings us to another full buy where NRG have another set ult strat in store. In their 1-0-4, they've noticed that Brock is 1 point off his Harness Fury. Now, I'm no math major, but Silva ult plus Yoru ult should equal free win. So their plan is to feed him, but let Mada cook with his op, while EDG have the read that it's B for some reason, and have left their overconfident Sage on A to try and hold site. But can she? The buy phase ends and Mada swings into A main, barely missing Chichoo. Ethan has hung up a one-way and teleported across. He's going to hold the space. Maybe EDG is pushed out elsewhere because NRG are fighting A. So with that question, Harbor, Sova, and Yoru each have a different goal in mind. Sam and Brock flip up a high tide and pin a recon on the ceiling while Mada holds to see how far Kong wants to push. Which is not very, because with this triple crossfire from sight, they should obliterate NRG if they come back. But the offense aren't. Nobody recons past this high tide, it scans nothing, and Chichoo raises his barrier, which instantly gets shot at. With EDG's duelist pushed up this far, it has to be A. Pile on the fact that Brock's grabbing his last ult point, Sage has to be nervous. And now that his Harness Fury is online, all of Energy group to go away with their broken combo, but EDG aren't moving. The only thing that changes is that Smoggy sent over a one-way from across the map. And now before the attackers go, Ethan sends out a smoke to block nobody's vision in mid after Sam broke his drone. And Chichoo's by himself.
The rest of Energy temporarily going to be halted by that slow warp. Chichoo obviously spotted out. There's that Hunter's Fury right onto him. Mada can just pop out, but it doesn't even need to. Brock with the
Sage! Just get off site! You're not that guy! And since she was the only one here, Mada's Dimensional Drift has given Harbor the green light to Wall of Heaven and a bit of spawn. That small gap gets cascaded off, but with Heaven, now EDG's retake has to start all the way in Timbuktu. Sam even swings through the wall and into Secret while EDG are grouping up. But their retake is well organized. Smoggy smokes Heaven so he and Concon can clear that out, but then turns and Paranoia spawn for these two to come out.
Going to need to win this 1v1.
Turns it, flash, what a flick! A correction that brings Kang to his knees. And now nobody in Smoggy do not have the money to take the risk. They have to get the heck out and allow it.
Now while Sage is dead watching her monitor, she needs to think about how she can't hold sight for shit. Leave! EDG's buy was so scuffed the next round that they had to do something that I love doing with my sponsorship money. Gambling! NRG's plan was to farm this B orb while Ethan and Brock held mid and A. And after losing B, Kong had to push down A and find value with his op. After not seeing anyone holding the space, he told his team to stack B, but never considered anyone hiding behind this bush. It's a nice spot to hold A from that's really hard to clear. Then because EDG lost so much space after the death, Energy quickly pivoted that way, and Chichoo tried slowing the offense down to buy time for rotates, but she got punished for peeking past the harbor wall. And Jen only had a stinger. Down by so much, the Vandals decided to save for one last final chance of preventing overtime. Their goal is to help Kong get down mid and find a first blood or early info in their 1-3-1, while Energy are applying pressure up every lane before regrouping to go B one last time. The round starts with a bunch of stuff. A smoke for A, Cascade and Flower to clear ramp, pylon a recon and teleport jump peek across mid, and Energy have defaulted across each important area of the map in just 5 seconds. And now EDG have done nothing. Staring down the barrel of mid, Jen calls out that he's seen Ethan teleport away, and with his teammates holding for him, maybe Kong can find Ethan?
Meet Ethan right through the corner of the wall.
This is the same Guardian that hit this nasty 4K to win EDG the Grand Finals last year. Kong is not going to let his team down. Now, despite having one less player, Energy still have a lot of tools at their disposal. Going B is still a solid win condition, especially because EDG have some read that it's A. So as the offense are grouping up, nobody drones down mid to find some more info, can't, and the attackers decide to contact up B. I mean, someone's got to be holding from somewhere, but they don't want to get too greedy, because despite this arc rose not tagging anyone, the offense still smokes spawn. Brock sends out a Zaldron to investigate who's holding back there, and he finds a tag on a Smoggy, forcing him to drop. This allows Sam to get a safe plant off, but that drone has also cleared a path for Scuba to move up and activate his Steel Garden. EDG were not expecting that ult to pop this deep, so 2 players' rifles are tangled. They then have to wait a bit, begin to move up, but Sam flips up his high tide. The defense can't wait everything out and elect to go anyway, but Sam is about to wreck their retake.
Hold the wall.
Flashing behind the wall.
Everyone hold, everyone hold.
I got spam. We're good. We win this.
One boat.
Time.
One back side, and one at ult. In ult.
Time, you win.
One enemy remaining.
Let's go!
Man!
Energy through everything, and the kitchen sink in EDG trying to stall their retake. First, the Steel Garden, then the High Tide, then the Reckoning, and finally this Recon Vice Flash combo that's impossible to dodge. But EDG somehow persisted and went up 3 players. Sam just stood out in the open and took on the defense by himself and landed a 6 spray transfer, and Mada also hit his shots. But there wasn't enough time anyways. Energy stall worked. And now, as much as I'd love to cover every single round of overtime, you guys gotta understand that I cannot cover every inch of every game. Otherwise, my videos would never come out. So let me briefly tell you what happened. Round 25. EDG contacted into B after using Yora's decoy to bait out Scuba's wall. Sam got caught with his pants down, and the lurking Sage made an appearance. Mada and Ethan tried to make it close with some nice kills, but Jen put him to bed.
Spotted out onto Smoggy. Nice little connection. Kung down. Defends on Jimmy.
Jimmy's isolated off that teleport.
It doesn't seem to matter. He'll take the fight either way.
Round 26. Energy tried going A after Brock made pressure in mid with their smokes. But Chichoo not only stalled the offense, but he didn't stick around on site to die this time. Then, after the high tide dropped, Energy made a push into heaven, which EDG fended off really well by coming through vents and spawn. But that didn't stop Ethan from re-smoking heaven and evening the odds before getting out with his life. From here, Sam lit out his wall that made it difficult for EDG to retake through, and because Chichoo wasted his wall earlier, Energy could sit back and spam the defuse without ever having to worry about anything stopping their bullets.
Spam, boys, spam, boys, spam. Just spam. Go for it,
Keep
go.
going.
Yes, man!
Go, guys.
Yes!
Well.
Round 27. There was a big battle for A main.
Go. Second innings of overtime. It is Mada in an odd spot. Nobody was able to find two. Around that, though, was Ethan going down first, so the stall the potential severely limited on the defense side, and Brock sees the shoulder peak. Jenny gobbles him up.
Brock absolutely needed to get that one.
EDG then closed out the 4 versus 2. Round 28. Energy pulled off a huge fake by having these 4 make a ton of noise on B, so that Kong would be convinced to leave A open for a Mada lurk.
They know it's fake now, Adam.
Okay, I'm lurking, boys.
I hear you.
Keep it control.
Should be heaven, yeah?
I'm up. Could be.
I'll smoke
After EDG heard nothing following all that utility, they tried to tell Kong to hold his ground, but his gatecrash was butt naked. In the post plant, the offense then proceeded to let Euro make as much noise as he could on site with Kong's op, while the rest of his team played in main. The defense would think that Euro was here killing people, so they need to dump utility on him. But instead, the majority of the offense were in main, and won. Also good on Sam by grabbing both orbs plus the plants. The Reckoning was a nice last resort. Now after so much back and forth, one team has to come out on top. For this round, EDG are slamming mid harder than we've seen before, with initially all 5 players, while Energy aren't going to expect this in their standard 2-1-2 setup. Round 29 starts with a trade of smokes for both teams, but Chichoo's slow orb and nobody's recon want to trap Sam top mid.
Rather unperturbed, but knows there's going to be pressure headed in his direction. He'll opt to leave the cove.
Yeah, he needs to run. EDG are all the way up mid with both the duelists at the moment.
Sam's Cove has provided him enough cover to get out safe, but now what do EDG do? Well, it looks like Smoggy wants him to push B with his Paranoia, but I think he got a little too excited. When Omen blew his load, he wanted his team to push Fish, but the rest of his teammates were still focused on finding Sam. This miscommunication has resulted in a 5 versus 3 advantage for NRG, plus the spike is in their territory. The defense recon through the dark cover, high tide heaven, and Energy swing at the same time, securing the area. If no one's here, maybe there's attackers in mid? But it's walled off. They must be sight. The Scuba activates his flash and pops his thorns, revealing that indeed, players are here. So Energy reposition and spawn and post up on the only 2 chokes that EDG can come through.
Holding now. Keep it across, book. They're gonna
Five
don't
hook now, five
They're gonna
hook.
don't peek his left side.
Blinding.
Yes,
Oh,
man!
okay.
Me and you, Scoo. Me and you, bro. Keep it up.
Good job, boys.
So, I'm an idiot and thought that the last round was the second to last round, but I already wrote it, so consider that one a bonus round. Now, how does EDG tie up the game again? Well, on round 30, Mada swung right underneath the drone instead of following it close behind, but Ethan evened the odds by teleporting up mid and then again into heaven. The defense had zero clue where this guy went, and this mystery distracted EDG enough for NRG to get a safe plant down. But then the defenders just won all of their gunfights. That brings us to the last, wait, let me double check. Yeah, last set of overtime rounds. EDG's plan? Heavy pressure A main, while Ethan and Brock have to be careful in Energy's 2-1-2. The buy phase ends and there's a trade of arrows. I guess you could ask, what's the point? The shock bounces and chips Kong, while the recon gives the offense A main control. Both teams also trade smokes, one for bridge that limits where the defense can spot main from, and one that makes it look like the defense are fighting for A main. Kong hops in the ladder, snags the ult orb, and eventually sends out his decoy to find Vice's shear. But it's not here. Interesting. Now before just going A, the offense want to apply pressure elsewhere to ensure that this site isn't stacked. The attackers back out, leaving the Yoru to hold the space. But EDG spend a lot of time doing this. Like, if your plan was to default across the map, why not have someone start B to eliminate this whole process of having to re-clear this map control? It's taking forever. They take so long that Energy get bored and want info somewhere. Brock drops back, uses Zal drone that doesn't see anything besides Omen's shoulder, and after about 30 seconds, nobody works up the courage to drone and clear out B main, but it only spots Vice. Interesting. With for sure info that the Sentinel is playing B, the offense regroup in A main, But time's running low, and Energy don't see anything B. It's gotta be A. So the defense starts sprinting towards the other side of the map while EDG start their execute. Smoke, gate crash, fast lane for it, but Ethan hits back with his Paranoia. Then he gets blasted by a relay bolt, Smoggy's Paranoia, and a recon. But from spawn, Sam has sent out his high tide to block the attackers from taking back sight. There's 20 seconds left. Can Energy flood in and prevent the plan?
Holding this wall, bro.
I got wall.
Chill.
Chicken.
Look at me. Look at me.
Chicken. Chicken for
Time.
chicken.
Keep chicken.
Look at me. Planning.
Bomb down. Look at Sam. Let's play.
Let's go!
Because Sam rushed in behind his wall and used his cove to become a rat on site, EDG did not know how to deal with him mid-execute. Half the offense went in front of the high tide, the other half was behind. Then Chichoo's wall raised Brock up. EDG are picking up the pace. In their 3-0-2, these guys are pushing B while Sova plays mid for info from vents while Sage anchors A. It's been a lot of rounds and I don't think EDG have made an aggro push like this in a long time. I mean, after 31 rounds, Energy might be too fatigued to expect or handle a push like this properly. But in their 1-3-1, the offense want to apply pressure around the map before regrouping to knock down Sage's wall on A. The round begins and Kong goes for a walk. His teammates break Scuba's Arcros, but it doesn't matter. Scuba's going A regardless. While in mid, Ethan smoke top mid, fake TPs across, Mada's decoy walks on library, and Brock's recon gets pinned. And now add on the fact that Sam cascaded up A main, and to the defense, Energy could be anywhere, but not B, because Kong and friends have made it down ramp, see that no one's here, and want to investigate mid next by taking the rope into Bend. Back on A, Chichoo has walled the choke, telling that the defense are convinced the bulk of the offense are mid, and they want to help these three push by getting more info. The wall blocks off A main to tell the defense that no one's A right now. EDG know no one's B, so they want to fight mid. It makes sense. So nobody sends out his drone to investigate, but Energy starts smashing Chichoo's wall. Brock is scanning site, and tags Sage who's running away after slowing the entrance. But that won't stop the offense. Harbor high tides, Ethan flashes, and Mada makes his way in. He turns and immediately starts spamming heaven, but then starts admiring the wall. Refreshing. Okay, Mada just didn't want to swing backside on his own. He sends out another gate crash before swinging, but look! The defense have crossed Scuba's shear. This means that Energy are being pinched from flank, heaven, and spawn. If they don't push, they'll lose. So Ethan smokes D.
They're gonna fight into security now in numbers, and they roll over Chichoo and nobody. Now it's up to Smoggy inside tower, and from
They got two! Now with the spike planted backside and spawn clear, all Energy have to worry about is heaven and main. It feels like EDG are the attackers now. Smoggy sends his Paranoia through backside, but as he peeks out of heaven, we have to ask ourselves, how do you even begin to retake this? Especially because EDG are worried that the attackers can rewrap heaven.
Right there, Sam. Stay right there.
We're good backside.
Have a drop.
Come left, Sam. Come left.
Okay.
1 HP
Guys, give
open.
us
1
time,
HP
guys.
open.
It's
Comms.
fine. I wall in 3.
Your left.
3.
We peek left at him?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Left.
I'm on 1. I'm 1 HP. 1
Play
HP.
time. Play time.
I'm all
Outside,
taking.
outside.
Let's go.
Yes, man!
Remember when Energy choked this hard last year? They were up 12-5. Watch it in this video. It was really bad.